Throughout the drill scene, we've seen many different elements of the streets, mainly because the foundation of drill is catching bodies and rapping about it. Like when Gucci Mane caught a body in 2005, got locked up for it, got off on self-defense, and then made a song about it in 2006. From 2011 until now, we've seen guys catch bodies and rap about it. We've seen guys catch bodies, beat the case, come home, and then rap about it. We've also seen guys make diss songs about the dead and end up being hit because of it. And we've seen hundreds, if not thousands of casualties in this viral war that was named the drill culture. And all of it has in some way been glorified. But this video is about the other part of the game, the part that nobody raps about, the part that the streets ignore, and the guys don't want you to see, the part where the gang left lil' homie on stuck. Gucci the Menace, formerly known as THF Gucci, he was the real definition of gang since potty training. He jumped off the porch around the age of 12 or 13. He came up around the younger THF members like Raheem, Westbrook, Lil Gutter, STK, Dre Money, J Dog, Finesse, and G Baby. The war between THF and Young Money has been brewing since at least 2008. Sometime in early May of 2015, Raheem ended up catching 051 Melly and 051 Ario on 60th and Cottage and hit both of them multiple times. Melly was hitting the foot and Ario was hitting the head and the chest. They both survived because Raheem only had a 22, and on May 25th, 2015, Raheem was standing in the alley with a friend on 44th and Cottage when a light-colored sedan rolled past and fired at the two. Raheem was hit multiple times in his back, and his friend was hit in the ankle. Raheem passed on the scene. Now one of Gucci's closest friends was gone, and he wanted payback.
I go bury my son. You gotta put me in the ground. I never see him again. That's gonna be so hard.
And a year later, on September 21st, 2016, Gucci would get his payback. Two men have been charged with unaliving 25-year-old Eric Banks in 2016. Banks was walking in the first block of East 57th Street about 2 p.m., September 21st, 2016, when gunman Deshaun Garrett, 21, jumped out of a tan Buick and opened fire, fatally striking Banks in his ribs, forearm, back, leg, and the back of his head. Deontay Baldry, 28, was driving the Buick, according to Assistant State's Attorney Jamie Santini. Garrett and Baldry were denied bail on those charges. According to prosecutors, Banks was walking with a witness when Garrett opened fire September 21st. The witness was able to escape, Santini said, but Banks was hit immediately and fell to the ground. Garrett is accused of then standing over Banks and continued to hit him at close range. Police found 11 shell casings on the scene. After the shooting, Garrett got back into the Buick and Baldry sped away, Santini said. Both the shooting and the Buick's license plate number were captured on surveillance. Banks was rushed in critical condition to Stroger Hospital, where he was pronounced unalive shortly after arrival. During their investigation, police learned the Buick belonged to Baldry, who took it to a shop to have it painted a different color, Santini said. Witnesses were able to identify Garrett as the shooter. It is not clear why there was a delay in filing charges. Gucci ended up receiving 55 years for the body. Allegedly, Westbrook took the stand on him, and also the guy that was with E-Boy when he was hit told as well. Gucci has recently denounced THL, allegedly for leaving him on stuck in the joint. DRose, probably one of the most infamous names in the drill culture. He was definitely a problem for his ops and an asset when it came to his gang. He's rumored to have did a whole lot in the streets and has been shouted out by Chief Keef, Dirt, and King Von. But even with all his street credentials, DRose ended up with 40 years for a crime that some people say he didn't commit. He was allegedly lied on by D-Money from Taekwon World before he died. He was left to sit in jail on a $100K bond and ultimately fought his case with a court-appointed lawyer. He was accused of unaliving Denzel Richardson on February 12, 2014. A 17-year-old boy has been charged with a body. He allegedly fatally hit 14-year-old Denzel Richardson in February in Woodlawn. Richardson was walking with several other males in the 6100 block of South Vernon Avenue when a van drove past and the gunman opened fire. About 8:20 p.m. February 12th, authorities said. The gunman fled in the van after the shooting, police said. The detective believes the shooting was gang-related. Since Rose was sentenced, there's been efforts made to try to get him released, but to no avail. He's still serving the 40. He's made freestyles and done interviews expressing how he feels about how his guys didn't come through when he needed them the most. And in my opinion, DRose is the best example of why you shouldn't join gangs. He slid for his hood constantly. He never told on anybody. And he's still going to get out of prison, the old man, if he actually makes it out. PBG Sean, known as one of the most active PBG members hands down. He slid relentlessly and was part of the reason PBG was so feared. He was also one of the closest members to Pappy. But on July 17, 2015, everything went downhill. A Cook County jury Monday found rapper Lil Sean Randall guilty of the 2015 unaliving of a rival gang member who was gunned down in front of his girlfriend and 3 young children. Jurors took a little longer than 3 hours to convict 22-year-old Randall for the unaliving of Valen France. Prosecutors overcame allegations made by France's former fiancée, Keisha LaFleur, that detectives told her to pick Randall out of a photo lineup. LaFleur, the only eyewitness to testify at the trial, also recanted much of what she told investigators and the grand jury in 2015. LaFleur spent much of her time in the courtroom listening as Assistant State's Attorney Holly Kremen read a transcript of LaFleur's grand jury testimony and played a video of the statement she gave 3 years ago. LaFleur and 22-year-old Francis had been sitting on the front porch of the home they shared in 2800 block of West Arthur on July 17, 2015, when they spotted Randall riding on a bicycle. Francis, a purported member of a gangster disciple faction that was feuding with Randall's branch of the same gang, herded LaFleur and the couple's 3 children, ages 3, 4, and 7, into the house. As he was grabbing his daughter's bicycle from the sidewalk, a man wearing a black sweatshirt with the hood up and cinched over his face fired multiple shots at Francis. LaFleur had said in 2015 that she recognized Randall's distinctive brown-tipped dreadlocks sticking out of the hoodie. At trial, she testified that she told detectives that Francis had identified Randall to her the day of the shooting. She said she was Facebook friends with Randall and had seen him around the neighborhood. LaFleur had twice ducked subpoenas to testify at the trial and came to court last week only after a judge in her new home state ordered her to return to Chicago. Randall had already racked up 7 violations of his probation for a 2014 drug conviction and was on electronic monitoring at the time of the shooting. The shooting took place just a few months after Randall and fellow gang member and rapper Shaquan Young Pappy Thomas uploaded a video for their song Shooter to YouTube. Thomas was gunned down 2 weeks later. The video has been viewed more than 13 million times. Randall faces a minimum of 45 years.
Where I'm at, let me know where I'm at. Hold up, shorty, where I'm at. I'm on Howard, Coward. Just me and my bicycle. My bike. Just me and my bike. Just me and my bike. Hey, where you going, shorty? Hey, he right here. Hey, you see niggas running and shit. Niggas running and shit. Niggas running and shit. Niggas running and shit. It's just me and my homie Dolo. Biggest pose. Hey, come on, we going. They was just in the stove. And my homie Dennis. The little boy, I just ran up to him, he ran back in the stove. How you look? He was short with a little dress. He's a little short. Holding up traffic, because that's what we do. You see how he is. Hold up, shorty. Niggas ain't now.
Sean will ultimately end up receiving 55 years, and after serving a couple years, this is how he feels.
They never did nothing for me. They not sending no money. Yeah, maybe Esther can suck my. That's why I don't get Esther no shout out. I don't want no shout out on Esther. That's why.
Ceday 22 shot, by far one of the most savage characters out of this nightmare that we call the drill scene. He actually took pleasure in sliding, has dropped his phone on the scene of more than one murder, and had been charged with at least 3 bodies before the age of 20. Him and 600 was very dangerous from 2011 to like 2015. That was until most of their members were either unalived or locked up for unaliving somebody. After his friend LA passed in 2013, it was kind of the beginning of the end for 600. And in 2014, Ceday's life would change forever. 2 local rappers were convicted earlier this year for unaliving Javon Boyd. Ely, who goes by the name Ceday, and Clint Massey, who performs under the alias Rondo No. 9. On Monday, Cook County Judge Vincent Goggins sentenced Ely 21 to 38 years in prison. Massey will be sentenced in coming weeks. According to prosecutors, Ely and Massey were among a group of people who drove 3 cars to the Wentworth Gardens Apartments complex on February 22, 2014, to retaliate for an earlier shooting. When the group spotted Boyd sitting in his Buick in the 3700 block of South Princeton Avenue, Ely and Massey got out of the cars and approached Boyd. That's when the duo asked Boyd if he was from the area and opened fire. The attack was captured on nearby surveillance cameras, according to prosecutors. Ely left a fingerprint on Boyd's car and dropped his cell phone as he was fleeing the scene. Boyd had begun driving the Pershing livery service about a month before he was unalived. Ceday ended up going to trial with a court-appointed lawyer, while his brother E-Day, rest in peace, went on major platforms telling the world that he had gotten his brother an attorney. Ceday also expressed the fact that he was displeased with his set, that a bunch of lies were told. He regrets his decisions, but he is forced to live with them as well. Ceday is still keeping his head up and has claimed to have changed. The last time I heard, he was getting married. Unfortunately, the change didn't happen fast enough. These are just a few examples of what it really means to be part of a gang that has no rules or no structure. No structure means no structure. Just because somebody says that they love you and that you their brother really don't mean nothing until it's time to prove that you your brother's keeper. I hope that this video reaches that shorty that's thinking about making that transition into the streets, or the young lady that's thinking about getting involved with a guy that's so-called a street dude. It's a lot that comes with the streets, and 99% of the time, it's the same results. Either you end up gone or in jail. Either way, you won't stuck. This has been another SN TV production. It's your boy, I'm out.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's